I'm John Schneider, as you may know, and I've been in so many places and done so many things. It's hard to know whether to tell the story from what just pops into my head or chronologically, so I'm just going to do both. I've got a degree in geophysics and journalism, kind of a double major, double degree. I went to a lot of different schools, including the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, where I wanted to be an actor. I like writing in a way that is not full of all kinds of facts and figures, because I think, especially when you talk about history, or you talk about molecular science or cosmology, or the origins of the Earth, some of the details can really bog you down. So when I get up in front of people, I like to make it interesting. I like to make it easy to understand. I like to make sure that people are following me because I make it interesting. You can't just give them facts and figures. Albert Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. I could sit here and tell you all the things that I think you need to know. But if I can't say it in a way that's imaginative for you to grasp it in a way where you can apply it to your own life and you can see beyond the facts and figures of a particular statement, well, then it's useless. I'll give you a book, go read it and get back to me. Helen Keller said, life is either a great daring adventure or it's nothing. And living that way and writing that way and teaching that way is what I strive for. I contend that a lot of people every day have an opportunity to learn something about themselves, to learn something about life, to learn something about the changes and the transformation that they go through. And they are presented with opportunities constantly. Now, there are some people that'll never recognize an opportunity. It just won't. They'll just be the same for the rest of their lives until they do recognize an opportunity. Then there are some people who will recognize an opportunity but won't do anything about it because they're afraid or they don't know how. And then there are people who not only recognize the opportunity but take advantage of it. But I don't know. I felt I wanted to write a book that was more about my particular experience with my daughter and how it changed her and how it changed me. And ultimately, when my mom was dying and I was her caretaker for 7 years, how much I learned then about the end of life and what is important. I love teaching. I mean, I always have. I've taught every grade. I've been a substitute teacher. I got a degree in theater to teach theater. And theater was an interesting curriculum for me because it taught me how to stand in other people's shoes or other people's characters, how to imagine what a person might be thinking, what was their motivation for doing something in a certain way. So it was helpful to me in the book that I wrote on Embracing Life's Journey. But so was science. So was the idea that life is not everything that you see in front of you. It's a matter of perspective, that we tend to formulate ideas in our brain that come from the senses that we utilize all the time that get coded into electrical signals and become all the emotions and memories that we use to think about where we want to go and what we want to do and whether we want to be happy or sad. And I want to share. I love sharing with people. I love talking about things, and I, it's kind of funny when I did the presentation in Sayreville, I obsessed about it. I spend a lot of time putting together a curriculum or a presentation that I think will resonate with people. I wasn't striving for perfection. What I was striving for was to hit a chord or to strike a chord with the people that were going to be listening to me and watching the slides and asking questions, and I wanted to make it meaningful. I didn't want people to say, well, actually, one person did say, during the presentation, John, this is a lot of stuff, not a lot, but some stuff that we should already know. But I'm glad, she said, you reminded us. And sometimes we do need to be reminded in a different way. And sometimes what you think is obvious isn't always obvious. So that's all right.